You know that feeling when you first realize someone's not just into you, they're completely into you. Like they are thinking about you when they are alone. They are rearranging their whole life to fit you in. They are suddenly talking about futures that include you in them. And you're standing there like, wait, what did I actually do to make this happen? Because here's the thing, you probably didn't do anything obvious. You were not trying to seduce them, you were not playing games or running some master manipulation plan. You just existed. You showed up. You were genuinely you. Maybe confused, maybe imperfect, maybe not even trying that hard. And somehow that broke something open inside them, something they have been protecting for years. They are coming at you now with real intentions because you woke something up that can't put back to sleep. They just can't. And you need to understand what actually happened, because the intensity you are seeing, it's not just interaction, it's something way more deeper. It's psychological, it's almost spiritual. Yeah, it's almost spiritual. And once you recognize it, you can't ignore it anymore. Let me explain what actually you did. You broke their pattern. Their entire life has been built around safety, safe choices, safe relationships, safe emotions. They learned a long time ago, maybe from hurt, maybe from rejection, maybe from watching someone they love get destroyed, that wanting too much is dangerous. So they built walls, smart walls, the kind that look fine from the outside, but are keeping something alive inside that's starving. And then you showed up, not as savior, not as someone they were looking for, just as someone who was genuine themselves, someone who listened without needing something back, someone who showed them a version of human connection they didn't even know they were missing. But here is where it gets complicated. You didn't just make them feel good, you made them feel understood. And there is a difference, I think huge difference, when someone feels seen at a level they haven't experienced before. When you recognize something in them they have been hiding from themselves, that's when the obsession begins. Not because they are broken or crazy or manipulative, but because their unconscious mind registers you as the answer to a question they never consciously asked. Why? Why? Because you represent something they lost, or something they never had, or something they were taught they didn't deserve. And the moment they felt that recognition, the entire system started reorganizing around you. The contradiction they are experiencing right now, and you can probably feel it. It's happening inside them. One part wants to move closer to finally have this thing that feels like home. But another part is absolutely terrified, because moving closer to you means moving closer to that unhealed part of themselves. It means facing everything they have been avoiding. And the mind doesn't want to do that. The mind fights it hard. So they push and they pull. They want you desperately, but then they withdraw. They are intense with you one moment and distant the next. And you are left wondering if you did something wrong. You didn't. No. What's happening is their internal defenses are activating. They are fighting. They are frightened a little control, and they over that fear looks like mixed signals. But here's what you need to know. They are not confused about you. They are overwhelmed by themselves, because what they are feeling isn't local. It's not built on a list of your good qualities. It's built on what you activate inside them, what you represent, how you made them feel like they could become someone different, someone more open, more honest, more alive. Yeah, like that. And that version of themselves that they glimpsed through you, they are not willing to let it go. The thing is, when the mind starts organizing itself around someone, it does quietly. Obsession doesn't always look loud or desperate. Real obsession hides behind restraint. It shows up as them thinking about you constantly when you're not around. It shows up as them replaying conversations and in their head, analyzing every word you said, every gesture, every moment, looking for hidden meaning. Not because they're crazy, but because you've become connected to something unresolved inside them, something unfinished. And the human mind is obsessed with finishing unfinished patterns. So they analyze, they overthink, they create stories, they are trying to understand you. But what they are actually doing is trying to contain you. Because understanding you completely would mean, how should I say that? Would mean accepting how real this is. And accepting it would mean making choices they are not sure they can handle. But the pull doesn't go away. Distance doesn't waken it. If anything, distance makes it worse. Because absence removes reality and replaces it with imagination. And imagination is where emotional attachment grows the strongest. Now, you are not just a person in their life. You've become an idea, a symbol, a projection of everything they can't fully articulate. And projections have no limits. Yeah, they expand like that. They become more idealized, more necessary, more beautiful with time. This is where things start to destabilize inside them, because they know on some level that the intensity of what they feel is bigger than the reality of who you are. They know they are probably projecting. They know some of what they feel isn't about you specifically. It's about what you represent. But knowing that doesn't make the feeling go away. It actually means it worse. Because now they are terrified. Terrified that if they tell you the truth about how deep this goes, you will run. Yeah, you will run. terrified that this isn't real, terrified of what happens if they have to let you go. And that terror, that intensity, that need to be close to you, that's what's driving the sudden seriousness. They are coming at you wanting commitment, because commitment feels like the only way to make this stable. The only way to guarantee you don't disappear. The only way to turn this feeling into something that makes sense. But here is the deeper truth that you need to understand. They are not just coming for you. They are coming for what you represent. I will repeat that. They are trying to lock down the person they think they could become if you stay. And that's where the danger lives. Not for them. For you. For you. Because here is the reality. You can't love away someone else's unhealed trauma. You can't be the answer to their psychological puzzle. You can't fill the void, a void that they need to fill themselves. And if you accept their intensity, if you give them what they are asking for, you're not saving them. You are enabling them to avoid the actual work they need to do inside themselves. This is where you have to get real about what's actually happening. Because what they are offering you, this deep consuming love, the intensity, the certainty, it comes with a cost. The cost is becoming responsible for their emotional stability, for keeping them happy, for being the thing that keeps them from falling apart. And that's not a relationship. That's a job. Yeah, that's a job. That's emotional labor you can't sustain forever. And here's where it gets spiritual. Real power comes from calling your own energy back, not cruelty, not with judgment, but with absolute clarity. Because you have a choice here too. You can get caught in the intensity. You can be flattered by the obsession. You can try to save them, or you can do something revolutionary. You can walk away. And walking away isn't cruelty. Detachment isn't abandonment. Detachment is a form of self-respect. I will stop there. It's recognizing that their healing isn't your responsibility. It's understanding that if they truly love you, they need to love you from a place of wholeness, not brokenness. They need to choose you because they are already complete, not because they think you will complete them. Because here is what most people never realize. Peace is the ultimate goal, not passion, not intensity, not the desperate, aching, all-consuming feeling that makes you feel alive, but also exhausted. Real love, the kind that lasts, the kind that actually matters, it's calm, it's stable. It's with someone who doesn't need you to save them, someone who has already done the work, someone who loves you because they choose to, not because they are unconsciously trying to heal through you, so using you. And the person who is coming at you right now with all this intensity, they are not ready for that. They are not whole enough. And that's not a judgment. No, it's just a fact. Some people aren't ready for the unconditional love that's being offered to them. Some people still have to learn how to love themselves first. Some people have to face the things they have been avoiding for years, and you can't do that for them. You can't do that. You can't shortcut their journey. So here's what you actually need to do. You need to release the fantasy of saving them. You need to understand that their intensity is about them, not about you. You need to recognize that loving you from a place of desperation isn't love. It's projection. And then you need to make a choice. You can stay and try to fix them. You can accept their intensity and make yourself responsible for their emotional well-being. You can try to be the person who heals them, but that's going to drain you. That's going to turn what could be something beautiful into something heavy and exhausting. Yeah, exhausting. Or you can do something that takes real strength. You can step back. And that's not betrayal. You can say, I see you, I see how deeply you feel, but I can be your answer. You have to find that inside yourself. And if you do that work, if you heal, if you become whole, then maybe there is something there, something here. But I'm not going to be the big thing that stops you from doing that work. I'm not going to let you use me. Use me as a substitute for your own healing. And that choice, that's where your real power lives. Not in being chosen, but in choosing. Not in being needed, but in needing something from them except their wholeness. There is a higher plan at work that's worth surrendering to. It's not about forcing outcomes. It's not about making this relationship work no matter the cost. It's about trusting that if this is real, if it's meant to happen, it will happen from a place of health, not desperation. It's about believing that if you let this go, something better is waiting, something with someone who is already whole, someone who doesn't need you to fix them, someone who loves you because you are you, not because of what you represent. So surrender that control. Stop trying to make this work. Stop accepting the intensity of as proof of love. Stop confusing obsession with devotion and trust. Trust that your peace matters more than their passion. Trust that you deserve someone who's chosen themselves first so they can actually choose you second. Trust that walking away from desperation isn't cruelty, it's evolution. Because at the end of the day, the only person who can love you the way you actually deserve, it's not someone who is desperately trying to heal through you. It's someone who is already whole, who sees you clearly, and who chooses you anyway. That's the love with waiting for you. That's the love that will actually last. And that's the love you deserve.